Quincy Jones, legendary music producer, dies at 91.
Which is just, even skimming through it.
So much to unpack.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack. So let's rewind the tape a little bit. Okay.
Wah, wah, wah. Listen, everybody try it, please.
Because Quincy Jones, he wasn't born
Right.
with, a mixing board in hand.
No, he wasn't born into the world of music production as we know it today.
Right.
But he, he really found his voice early on through music, and it started with the trumpet.
Right.
And this wasn't just, some casual hobby.
Right.
We're talking about him playing alongside jazz giants like Lionel Hampton and Dizzy Gillespie.
What?
When he was, a teenager.
So the guy who produced, Michael Jackson's pop anthems was...
Oh, no, it's
He's like cutting his teeth on jazz.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
It's an incredible foundation, isn't it?
That's a master class in music.
Exactly. And I think it's key to understanding, his later success.
Yeah.
That jazz background, because jazz is all about improvisation.
Right.
It's about complex arrangements.
Yeah.
And you can hear those elements echoing in even his poppiest production.
It's that musical DNA, I feel like, that you can't escape.
You got it.
Okay, so we've got the jazz prodigy.
Right.
But how does he make the leap to shaping the sound of pop music?
Well, it's a fascinating evolution,
Yeah.
In the 60s, he starts arranging and producing, working with Leslie Gore on It's My Party.
A classic.
A huge hit, which honestly I think still holds up today.
Absolutely.
But the real turning point, I think, is his work with the Brothers Johnson.
Okay.
I'll Be Good to You.
Oh, yeah.
Pure funky magic.
Uh-huh.
And it shows Quincy's range, expanding beyond, traditional pop structures.
And he's got this jazz background.
Yeah.
But he's not afraid to experiment and to bring those influences into these new genres.
Yes.
It's like he's building a vocabulary.
Right.
A musical vocabulary.
You got it.
Yeah.
That he'll then use to, create those iconic hits.
And then enter Michael Jackson.
Enter Michael Jackson.
I mean, come on.
Talk about a powerhouse duo.
We all know the successes of Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. But what's so interesting to me is how Quincy helped Michael channel his idols.
Yes.
Like, we're talking about Fred Astaire, James Brown.
Yeah.
Into this new groundbreaking sound.
Absolutely. Michael had these incredible influences.
Yeah.
And Quincy was able to help him synthesize those influences into something fresh and new and exciting.
God has given him a special gift, and he's used it wonderfully. He just has a great quality for excellence, for perfection, and anybody who's worked with him notices this. The way he'll make you do a thing until it's perfect.
Over and over again?
Yes.
He's difficult to work with?
No, I like to be grinded a lot. No, he's not difficult at all.
So tell me more about that collaboration. Was it did they click instantly or?
Well, from what I've read, they really pushed each other to be better.
Okay.
Quincy talks about Michael's intensity, his focus, his attention to detail.
Uh-huh.
Michael has an innate sensual feel inside, but he doesn't think of it as that. And this one, where we were really saying, it should be, this is the one I think we should try for. I think this is the choice we should make.
He would spend hours
Wow.
dissecting a drum beat or, a vocal inflection, really striving for perfection.
Perfectionists.
And Quincy, with all of his experience, was the perfect guide to kind of harness that energy.
So it's not just about Quincy's talent.
Right.
It's about his ability to understand and elevate the artists he works with.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
It's like he's a musical alchemist.
I love that.
Turning raw talent into gold records.
That's a perfect analogy.
But here's the thing. We can't let the Michael Jackson era overshadow everything else.
No, absolutely not.
Because Quincy was so much more.
He was a musical chameleon.
Yeah.
He could do it all.
Like Frank Sinatra, right?
Frank Sinatra, yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It's hard to picture those two worlds colliding.
I know, right? But that's the magic of Quincy.
Yeah.
He could work with Sinatra and bring a fresh, modern sound to his music while still respecting the legend's classic style.
Right.
And then turn around and produce We Are the World.
We Are the World.
This massive anthem for social change.
Speaking of We Are the World, it was more than a hit.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a cultural phenomenon.
It was a movement.
Yeah.
A global movement.
What was Quincy's role in all of that?
He was the architect of the whole thing.
Really?
I mean, just imagine
Yeah.
bringing together all of those superstar egos.
Springsteen, Dylan Ray Charles.
Come on, you name it, they were there.
Unbelievable.
And getting them to work harmoniously for a cause.
Right.
I mean, his quote, "Check your egos at the door,"
Yeah,
really captures the vibe.
it does.
You know, it's a testament to his leadership
Yeah,
and his ability to inspire people,
absolutely.
to create something bigger than themselves.
So wasn't there something about him being uniquely prepared for this kind of like massive collaboration?
Yeah, he had actually already worked with many of the artists on We Are the World
Okay.
for a similar charity single, Donna Summer's State of Independence.
Oh, wow.
So he had experience
Emeritus.
managing those big personalities
Yeah.
and orchestrating, you know, a complex recording process.
So this guy isn't just a musical genius.
Yeah.
He's a logistical wizard too.
He's got it all.
And that's before we even get to TV and film.
I know, right? We haven't even scratched the surface.
Those TV themes,
Yeah.
Sanford and Son, Fresh Prince.
Instantly recognizable. You hear those, you know exactly what they are.
Yeah.
He practically invented the modern sitcom soundtrack
He did.
and then went on to score films,
Yeah.
you know, earning an Oscar nomination for The Color Purple.
Hold on, let's unpack that Color Purple score for a second.
Okay.
Was it typical Quincy Jones, or did he have to adapt his style for film?
Well, he absolutely brought his signature sound, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also so deeply intertwined with the film's emotional core.
Uh-huh.
It's not just background music, it's a character in itself, you know?
Wow.
Amplifying the themes of resilience and hope.
Yeah.
He wasn't just scoring a movie,
Right.
he was translating emotions into music.
That's amazing. I mean, it's like he could just tap into the soul of a project,
Yeah.
no matter what the medium.
He had that gift.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, his personal life
Right.
was no walk in the park.
Yeah.
3 marriages, 7 kids, including, you know,
Yeah.
actresses Rashida and Keita Jones.
Right.
How did he balance all that with this insane career?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, the People magazine piece doesn't get too deep into the personal struggles.
Yeah.
But, you know, what does shine through is this incredible resilience.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who survived 2 brain aneurysms in his 40s.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, most people would be reeling
That's
from that. But Quincy used it as fuel.
There's like this drive to create.
Yeah, this urgency to create, like every moment counts.
You know, I read somewhere that he grew up facing some serious adversity, escaping a rough home life, dealing with racism in the National Guard.
Right.
Do you think those experiences shaped him?
Oh, absolutely. I think when you come from a place where nothing is handed to you, you learn to fight for what you want.
Yeah.
And Quincy fought hard, not just for himself, but for others too.
Right.
His commitment to social justice, his support of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thread that runs through his whole life.
It's like, it's not just about the music.
No.
It's about using your platform.
It's about making a difference in the world.
And he was challenging norms musically and socially.
Yes, you was.
Like producing It's My Party for Leslie Gore when she was a teenager.
A young woman.
That song wasn't just a catchy tune.
No, it was a statement.
It was
a sign of the times.
Yeah.
And he was pushing boundaries.
And he had this knack for spotting talent
He did.
that other people overlooked.
Yeah, he had a great ear for talent.
Yeah.
And for pushing boundaries in a way that resonated with audiences.
And he did it all with this humility.
Yes, he did.
You know, it's so refreshing
I know.
to think about that compared to today's,
Right.
like this me attitude.
It's all about me.
Yeah.
It wasn't about him. It was about the music, the artists, the message.
The collaboration.
The collaboration, exactly.
That's what allowed him to bring together such diverse talent.
Yes.
Like We Are the World again. To get all those superstars in one room.
I know.
To work together.
It's unbelievable.
For a common goal.
Yeah, that takes a special kind of leadership.
It's almost like he was conducting an orchestra.
Right.
But instead of instruments, he was orchestrating personalities.
Exactly.
And creative visions.
I love that.
And the result was a musical masterpiece.
Yeah.
That transcended genres.
Right.
And touched millions of people.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
But you know, we talk about these musical legacies in terms of hits and awards.
Right.
But with Quincy,
yeah,
it feels so much bigger than that.
It does. It's about the barriers he broke.
Yeah.
The connections he made. The way he used his influence to elevate others and to champion important causes.
Yeah.
It's about inspiring generations of artists to think outside the box, to collaborate.
Yeah.
And to use their voices for good.
Even in his 80s.
I know.
Still going strong.
Couldn't believe.
Working on new projects.
Yeah, mentoring young artists.
It's like he never lost that hunger.
He had this insatiable curiosity.
To create, to learn to push himself further.
Right.
I read a quote where he said,
Yeah.
I feel like a child, man. I'm just starting.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that's so true.
Yeah.
There's a lesson in that for all of us.
Absolutely.
To never stop exploring.
To stay curious.
To embrace that joy of creating,
Yeah.
no matter our age.
It doesn't matter how old you are.
Or level of success.
Exactly.
We're nearing the end of our deep dive here.
Okay.
What aspect of his legacy
Yeah.
resonates most with you personally?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's his unwavering commitment to pushing boundaries,
Okay.
both musically and socially.
Yep.
He never let himself be confined by genre,
Right.
by convention, or by other people's expectations. He was always striving to create something new, something different, something that would challenge the status quo and make people think.
I love that. It's like he was constantly evolving,
Right.
always seeking new ways to express himself,
Yes.
to connect with the world.
And to connect with the world.
And he did it all with this sense of joy and playfulness.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes his story so inspiring.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that success isn't just about talent or hard work.
Right.
It's about passion. It's about curiosity.
Uh-huh.
It's about embracing the unknown and never losing that childlike wonder.
Beautifully put.
Thank you.
So it's safe to say that Quincy Jones's impact
Yeah.
on music and culture
Huge.
is immeasurable.
Absolutely.
From his jazz roots to his global pop dominance, from his iconic TV themes to his groundbreaking film scores, he has left an undeniable mark
He did.
on the world.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not fading away, right?
No, not at all.
Like you still hear his influence in music today.
Absolutely. You know, it's like his musical DNA is woven into the fabric of modern music. You can hear echoes of his arrangements,
Right.
his innovative production techniques, that seamless blending of genres.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there in so many artists today.
It's crazy to think that a guy who is jamming with jazz legends in the 50s is still shaping the sound of music in the 21st century.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
It really is.
And it goes beyond just the notes themselves, you know?
Right.
Think about all the artists he mentored,
Yeah.
sharing his wisdom and experience with, you know, those coming up behind him.
Yeah.
He wasn't just creating music, he was fostering a whole community
Right.
of creators.
Yeah, and let's not forget that social justice advocate that
Absolutely.
we talked about.
Yeah, he never shied away from using his platform
Right.
to fight for what he believed in.
He knew he had this voice,
Yeah,
and he was going to use it
absolutely.
to speak out against, you know, racism, poverty, inequality.
He wanted to make a difference.
It's so inspiring
Yeah, that's amazing.
to see someone achieve such incredible success and still remain grounded,
And humble.
humble and committed to making the world a better place.
Absolutely, a true inspiration.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive into the life and legacy of Quincy Jones,
Okay.
what's the one thing
Yeah.
you'll remember about this musical giant?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's his unwavering belief in the power of collaboration.
Okay.
You know, he brought people together, not just musicians,
Right.
but people from all walks of life
Yeah.
to create something truly special.
It's a good reminder that we're stronger together than we are apart,
Absolutely.
and that we can achieve incredible things when we work together towards a common goal.
I think that's a beautiful way to sum it up.
Well, on that note, we will leave you to ponder the incredible life and enduring legacy of Quincy Jones.
A true legend.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.